Good day, everyone. We will be discussing the BSP's functions today. There's 8 functions to mention. Number 1, as monetary authority. The monetary authority is the institution that regulates a country's currency and money supply, typically with the goal of managing inflation, interest rates, real GDP, and the unemployment rate. By regulating the supply and cost of money, the BSP can exercise some influence over changes in the prices of goods and services. Number 2, a supervisor of all banks. It routinely supervises and inspects the activities of banks and their compliance with the banking legislation. Similar to the bank supervisor that oversees all parts of a bank's operations, such as customer services, bookkeeping, and risk management. Number 3, as issuer of money. It holds the exclusive authority to issue the country's currency. All issued currency is completely backed by the government and is accepted as payment for all private and public debts.
Number 4, as custodian of the country's official reserves. When we refer to a custodian, we mean a person who is responsible for in charge of anything. In BSP custodians, a comfortable level of reserves is maintained to limit the economy's sensitivity to global economic shocks, to fulfill the demands of a more dynamic and globally integrated economy, and to safeguard the international convertibility of the Philippine peso. Number 5, as a bank of all banks, it has no direct contact with the general public. Instead, banks are its clients. For instance, the BSP provides banks with short-term liquidity loans. Number 6, as lender of last resort, when a commercial bank suffers a financial crisis and is unable to receive funds from other sources, the central bank fulfills the crucial function of lender of last resort and extends credit to the commercial bank. This function of the central bank prevents the commercial bank from failing.
Number 7, as advisor. It maintains the government bank accounts and balances following disbursement and remittances. As a government advisor, it provides advice on all monetary and economic problems. The central bank also acts as the government's agent when general exchange control is in effect. Number 8, as official depository. Function as official depository for the government and its subsidiaries and agencies, notably GOCC, or the government-owned and controlled corporation, is a corporation created by special law or incorporated and organized under the Corporation Code and in which government, directly or indirect, has ownership of the majority of the capital stock. The 8 functions of BSP listed are: the BSP handles systematic risk and ensure the safety and soundness of the banks and other BSFIs in order to foster financial stability and a secure and dependable banking system. Maintaining price stability is the BSP's primary priority.
A central bank. Every country has a central bank. In the US, it is the Federal Reserve. In the UK, it is the Bank of England. And for Europe, it is the European Central Bank. The primary function of the central bank is to manage the nation's money supply through activities, duties such as managing interest rates, setting the reserve requirements, and acting as a lender of last resort to the banking sector during times of bank insolvency or financial crisis. The central bank has been described as the lender of last resort, which means that it is responsible for providing its economy with funds when commercial banks cannot cover a supply shortage. In other words, the central bank prevents this country's banking system from failing. However, the primary goal of a central bank is to provide their country's currency with price stability by controlling inflation. A central bank also acts as the regulatory authority of the country's monetary policy and is the sole provider and printer of notes and coins in circulations. Time has proved that a central bank can best function in these capacities by remaining independent from government fiscal policy and therefore uninfluenced by the political concerns of any regime. The central bank should also be completely divested of any commercial banking interests.
We hope that you now have a deeper understanding of the BSP's functions. We appreciate your attention and viewing of our video presentations.